What's good, everybody? My name is Gentleman Jugg.
And I'm Son.
Welcome back to the Gentleman Juggcast, episode 40. How you doing today, boy?
I'm all right.
Good. Every single time we talk about this, every single time, you always say, I'm all right. Nothing else. That's it?
Yep, that's it.
Just all right. I mean, I'm good. So, anyways, we got another movie to talk about this week. What's that movie, boy?
Superman 2.
Yes. Superman 2, not quite a quest for peace.
We're halfway there, though.
Yeah, as far as these movies are concerned. I mean, we'll get into talking about Superman 2. So, boy, we're going to talk about this movie, and the movie's name is what?
Superman 2.
So, Superman 2, if I'm correct, I think I am, this movie came out in the year 1980. I'm just guessing on that one, too. Ugh. Kind of hurt. Anyways, so it's Superman 2, and the movie did not start like the last one.
No, this one had a better.
So this movie gave us like a tiny bit of new footage before the opening credits started.
Yep.
You're going to see our boy Nan, who works with General Zod, come into frame, and then General Zod comes in, and then his the woman Kryptonian, I keep wanting to say Feora, but it's not. It's Ursa.
And I'm like, it's because Man of Steel messed me up.
Man of Steel fucked it up. Piece of shit. So
it's Ursa.
It's Ursa. They come in, they get a red crystal, and they break it, and that apparently leads to a life sentence in the Phantom Zone. So,
what I think is funny is like they break it, all of a sudden the rings just come down, and the guy's like, "You're guilty. Get out of here.
Guilty. Go to jail." They're like, what?
I'm like, what?
Like, what was the crime he broke? What he broke a red crystal? That means he goes to prison for life?
I was like, yeah, that crystal was important.
It was important, according to them. But whatever. Okay, so they get cast into the Phantom Zone, and then the freaking opening credits start. And the opening credits last for 8.5 fucking minutes.
So it's even longer than the last one.
It's longer. I think the last one was like 5.5 minutes. This one's 8.5 minutes. And what were they doing the entire time?
They were showing you a recap of the first Superman movie.
The entire recap of the first movie.
Well, they want to make sure you're all caught up.
So I got to sit here for damn near 10 minutes watching the old movie.
They're like, got to make sure you're all caught up, you know? Someone didn't see the first one. It's like, could you imagine if Avengers did this?
Yeah, I can, because Spider-Man 3 did it, and 2 did it.
I mean, like the MCU.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, you know.
Like, get to the next Avengers movie. Like, let's show you, 20 minutes of the other movies before this.
You know what? I would accept that. Okay. Here's how I would accept it, all right? So, you know how in Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, where, I forget the character's name, but he was Hispanic, and he would sit there and freaking tell, he would sit there and tell the entire story of what happened in his voice, and everybody else is freaking talking, but they're also having his voice as well, saying what he's saying. I would take a whole entire recap of that with all the Marvel characters just doing his voice. That's how I would, yes. Okay? That's what I want. That's how, there you go.
Like, you could do that.
Okay, because it's original, but this is not what they did in this movie. No, they just showed you footage from the first movie.
While blasting Superman's theme, like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, that's how it sounded.
Yeah.
And I get it that at the time that this movie came out in the 1980s, or at least 1980 exactly, people didn't know Superman's origin like the back of their hand like they do now. Okay, so maybe I need to sit there and not fucking give them too much of a hard time for freaking showing us the fucking origin once again.
No worry, that's for a later movie.
Yeah, we'll go with a later movie on that one, okay? I mean, if Superman 3 fucking shows us the damn origin of Superman 1 and 2 again, like,
It'll be like 20 minutes, and
I know.
then 4 will be like all 3 of them.
Well, I know 4 isn't because that was my first superhero movie, and I watched the shit out of that, and it doesn't do that. But
Good movie.
but this one did it. And we spent like 4 minutes talking about the entrance of this fucking movie, so we're no better. So
We talked about in half the time it was.
yeah, well, at least they were showing footage. So, anyways, once it finally ends after almost 10 fucking minutes, okay, we see Clark Kent immediately. He's in the first shot going to the Daily Planet and he's being ignored and everything. You know, all the stuff that happens to Clark Kent, it was happening to him.
This is my favorite Clark Kent.
It's still, I mean, like he's just getting, you know, he's just being goofy, you know, it's fine, whatever. So he goes talk to Perry White, and Perry White's like, "Hey man, have you seen the news?" And he's like, "No." It's like, "What the hell do you do with your life?" And he's like,
I read books.
I read books, you know." And he's like, "There's a terrorist attack going on in freaking Paris." What? You know, now apparently the terrorist attack happened last night. Okay. And he's like, "So where's Lois at?" "Oh, she's in the middle of it." "She's in Paris? She saw this thing last night and she's in Paris right now?" Now, look, I understand. You can get on a flight at night and end up at Paris the next day. I can get that. Okay. But apparently she went to work and then Perry's like, "Go to Paris." So she went to Paris and she was there the same day.
What kind of plane do you take?
They said a Concorde. Now I understand what a Concorde is. I know how fast Concordes can be, you know, but I don't think that she did that. But that's what they told us.
Maybe she can fly as fast as Superman.
Well, obviously, because she got there like it was morning at the Daily Planet, and then it was still morning at freaking Paris. So whatever.
Off,
Time doesn't make a difference here.
we're off to a great start.
Yeah. So whatever. She's there and she gets to Paris and she's talking to the police because she's got to go see what the fucking what's gonna happen with this terrorist attack. And the first guy that comes and talks to her is a French cop. So what does she do? She naturally starts speaking Spanish to him, you know, and she gives him she's like starts reading a freaking French dictionary book to him. He takes the book and walks off. And then while he walks off, she sneaks behind him. I'm like, this worked. This worked.
Like, this movie's really off to a great start.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't remember any of this.
this is the stupidest cop ever. So side note, when did you see this movie? Like the first time.
Like before I even hit double digits.
Okay. So you don't know exactly when.
No, but it was before 10.
Okay. Well,
So
this is your first time seeing it yesterday since that time.
yeah, and I was really shocked because that's funny. I remember the first one, but I never remember this one.
So, okay, fine, whatever. So Clark Kent has left the Daily Planet and he has the weakest transformation into Superman so far. It is terrible. It's like a lot of times in movies, you know, I've been editing for a little bit in the YouTube videos, you know, not bragging. Okay. But what I do know is there are some things I know that I can do, and I look at some of the people's YouTube videos and I'm like, I can't do that yet, but I'll get there. I can't do that yet. This particular transformation, I could do leagues better than what they did here.
The only thing I said is that at least his pants changed this time.
Yeah, but it's stupid. The transformation here. If I saw him just go into a phone booth and change, I'd be probably like, I can't do that. Okay, you know, if he just sat there, went to a phone booth, and took his shirt off slowly and freaking showed his Superman S, I'd be like, I can't do that. You know, but this right here, he like ran and like kind of transformed into Superman in like the weirdest, most bullshit 80s way ever. I'm like, that I could do way better than that.
It's like he was running. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba!
It was just awful. awful. Whatever. He's Superman now.
I
So
just like how the music's trying to make it get super epic, but it's just not.
it's like the tone is not right.
Nope.
Okay. So whatever. So he's going to Paris,
And he takes forever to get there.
yeah, I'm sure he takes him a while.
He's doing it the Goku way.
Yeah. So he gets there, and well, he doesn't get there yet, but like Lois decides that she's gonna freaking hang off the bottom of an elevator up the Eiffel Tower. But before she does this, they're on an elevator. They're going like halfway up. Okay, apparently, and she takes the stairs, and she arrives at the elevator the same time the elevator arrives where it's supposed to be. So I'm like, okay, that's impossible. So then she decides to go ahead and get on the bottom of that elevator, and then it goes up even higher. And she's sitting there saying that she wants to get a Nobel Prize. And I'm like, don't you want a Pulitzer?
Well, to quote one of those henchmen, this is the boring bit.
Yeah, this is the boring bit. It's not. It's not boring. It's weird.
It's like stupid.
Okay, so once she gets up there, Superman finally shows up. Okay, and the reason why the way he shows up is the bomb is getting ready to go off, and apparently it's on the elevator. Okay, and the elevator starts to fall from the Eiffel Tower.
Yep.
Okay, Superman catches the elevator. I don't know why he would want to catch an elevator. He doesn't know what's on there. Okay, he doesn't. He especially doesn't know Lois is on there. So he stops the elevator from falling, and then Lois is like, "There's a bomb on the elevator." He's like, "Okay," and he just takes the elevator and throws it into space.
Into space.
Into space.
Sky
Okay.
wasn't high enough for you.
Yeah. Just throws it into space. And first of all, what happened to the terrorists?
um, Off screen.
Yeah, off screen. He didn't stop anybody. The terrorists could have left, as far as am concerned.
I mean, I feel like they probably just did escape.
They were never seen from in this movie again.
I'm gonna say they escaped.
Yeah. So, but speaking of escaping, after that explosion happens, because the bomb was actually a nuclear bomb
In space.
in space,
Did it like knocked Superman back too?
yeah. Well, General Zod and his minions were also in the Phantom Zone in space, and the explosion blew up, and the after effects blew up the Phantom Zone glass, letting them be free near Earth. In the vastness of space, where explosions are happening in space literally all the time, no matter at any given point in the galaxy. This particular explosion that's close by Earth blows up.
See, what's funny to me is that they were just waiting that whole time in there, just sitting quietly, just waiting for an random
For like
explosion.
30 something years.
Then it finally happens, and then I don't know why, but the way they all fly together it just made me laugh. It just something just didn't look right about it.
I don't know what to tell you on that one, boy. So
It just looked like Zod's like, all right, I'm here with my boys.
yeah, here we are. Here we go. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's go, guys.
So back in Metropolis, I don't know when they got back to Metropolis, but back in Metropolis, Lois is still keeping Clark in the friend zone. And look, I know that they're supposed to be together because they're supposed to be together. That's what it is in the comics and so on and so forth. But I don't know. If I was Clark, I'd be done with this bullshit. All right, Lois, you've been keeping me in the friend zone this entire time. I'm fucking sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go find some ass from somebody else because I'm not getting it from you. But whatever. So we cut to Lex Luthor, who's in prison, and apparently his sentence, had him life in prison plus 25 years.
Yeah.
Along with Otis, I guess. I don't know if Otis got it too, but Miss Tessmacher didn't get it from the last movie. So anyways, during this entire time of the story, we're learning that he has a black box that he's been making that can track Superman and tell him where his secret is. Okay, cool, whatever. So on the moon, with the astronauts. So on the moon with the astronauts, um, Ursa shows up and she's on the moon and she decides to freaking talk to a guy
Yeah.
and he talks back to her in the vacuum vastness of space where as Alien told us, no one can hear you scream
And there's no sound.
and because there's no sound. And she's like, "Hey, who are you?" He's like, "I'm an astronaut." And she's like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then he decides to turn around and run away. And she catches him and rips his freaking rips a hole in his spacesuit and then kicks him in the dick off the moon.
I don't know. These scenes of Zod and his minions beating people up are just it's just
They're
funny.
like the most hilarious, ridiculous shit ever. You know. So then there's another guy, he speaks Russian. Zod kills him. You know.
The whole scene is just funny.
Yeah, and then Nan, he freaking like the last pilot, he's still on the moon. He's trying to like get off of the moon with their moon landing rover, whatever the hell it's called, moon ship, spaceship, whatever the fuck it's called. Nan decides to freaking destroy it.
Yeah. He only growls.
Yeah,
He's like
because he doesn't talk. He's a mute for whatever reason. It's just ridiculous. Whatever. So uh they realize that on the moon that they have really good powers and that they can, survive in space and they can do all kinds of shit and that they should go to Earth because they might have even more powers on Earth. So they're going to go to Earth to try to attempt to rule it. And after that, Luthor escapes from prison, leaving Otis behind.
with a hot air balloon.
From Miss Teschmacher, who is helping for whatever reason.
Didn't she not want help? She's the reason their whole plan failed the last time.
Yeah, she's the reason why he's in jail.
And he's like, I'll work with her again. Nothing bad will happen.
Fucking ridiculous.
I'm like, come on, Lex.
So, next scene, Lois and Clark are in a hotel for some reason at Niagara Falls. Now, we've been there. It looks exactly like this.
Yeah.
The hotel is not where... I remember there not being a hotel right on the falls.
No.
But apparently that's what's here. In any case, some kid is playing on the rail at Niagara Falls for whatever reason. The parents are just not watching. I don't know. Whatever stupid reason to get Superman to turn to Superman. The kid falls off the rail. Superman comes and saves him because Clark is supposed to be going to get a hot dog for Lois. Now, this time of Superman saving this kid sparks Lois into sitting there thinking, hey, whenever Clark Kent is not around, Superman is, and vice versa. How can he be in Niagara Falls? Like, he can fly faster than the speed of light, right?
Yeah.
He can get there. It's not a coincidence that Clark will be going for a hot dog that you told him to go get, and then Superman shows up, and then Clark comes back with a freaking hot dog. This isn't fucking rocket surgery, okay? This is what happens. Sometimes people just fucking miss things. That's what it happens.
So if this was Jimmy Olsen and he went to get a hot dog and Superman appeared, we should have been like, Jimmy Olsen, Superman.
It's potential with her thought process here.
Or if it was Perry White.
Right?
She'd be like, you're Superman, Perry.
So she's starting to question the Superman fucking thing. And we move to the next scene because this movie just moves like boom, 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 real quick. So in the hot air balloon, Lex Luthor decides to go to Superman's fortress, which he assumes is north. And this works. He gets there.
And just walks in.
No
security.
Into the frozen tundra of the fortress.
He's just in there.
And just starts fucking with shit.
I'm like, he just walks right in.
And just starts fucking with shit. And, he finds out about Zod and what Zod may want to do. Now, he doesn't know Zod is coming.
He's like, oh, that guy's just out there.
He's like, oh my gosh, that guy's out there, and he might be coming. He might come here. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know anything. Okay? So, whatever. So, Lois really starts fucking pulling on Clark Kent's cape about the Superman threat, okay? And she decides, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just fucking jump into the Niagara Falls River, okay?
Like, if you're Superman, you save me.
Yeah, because Superman will fucking save me. And this is stupid because what if she's wrong? I mean, she wasn't wrong, but what if she was wrong?
Then she would have died.
She would have died. Okay. So of course Clark, is chasing her as Clark and does things to freaking influence her way to freaking saving herself, which is fine, but this is all fucking goofy. This is just goofy. It's just ridiculous.
And I'm like, see, his plan has to work super, like, get super lucky, because if he messes up, then she'll just die.
Yeah.
So-
Ridiculous.
So he's got to be like, I gotta be lucky enough to have a branch there that I can shoot with my heat vision,
Just yeah.
and have to have.
And she has to be able to see it and swim to it, and then somehow swim her ass over to the freaking shore, so that he can freaking fall into the water and look stupid.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like, this works.
This works. Yeah. So Zod is finally on Earth. Yeah.
Zod is coming.
He's here. Okay. And as soon as he lands right in the water. Everybody lands in the fucking, on the ground. He lands in the water because they want to have a Jesus thing where he walks on the water to get to Earth.
Hey, this did it before Man of Steel.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Zod.
So Ursa is like looking at animals and she sees a snake and she picks it up and the snake bites her.
And it hurts her.
And it hurts.
And I'm like, huh?
And she gets to the point where she's so mad that this thing bit her, she throws it on the ground and kills it with her heat vision. Now, she didn't know she had heat vision, but that's not the point. The point is a snake bit her and it hurt.
Does that mean a snake could hurt Superman?
According to this, yeah. Just rent powers working and not working when they should. New powers happening and all bullshit, So later on, Lois and Clark are in this hotel, and Clark is fucking around too much because she's like, I thought you were gonna be Superman. I thought you were Superman. I didn't know that. I feel so stupid, And then, she's like, hey, can you get my brush for me on the freaking counter? So Clark sitting there freaking acting like Clark, he's just goofing around too much.
He's like, oh,
yeah, and busts his ass, and his glasses fall right into the fucking fire. And I'm like, this could have been avoided if you didn't sit there and keep fucking around too much.
It's just funny. He trips on like a stuffed animal tail. Whoa.
He trips on a fucking stuffed bear rug that's pink for whatever reason. Like, you tripped? You tripped.
You're Superman.
You tripped.
Superman tripped.
If anything, he should have fucking kicked the damn bear's head off. Right?
But instead, whoa.
His glasses fall in the fire. He jams his hand into the fucking fire, and that's what happens. He pulls his glasses out. She's like, "You're a Superman." He's like, "Yeah." Like, you could still lie, dude. I mean, but whatever. I was like irritated, because her first question to him should have been like, were you gonna let me fucking just die like a couple hours ago?
What's funny is that in order to tell her that he's Superman, he has to be like, I'm not Superman, and then walk up the stairs, turn around, I'm Superman.
Like, you figured it out. You got me.
I'm like, did you have to stand on the stairs?
Well, that's irrelevant. It's just, the whole thing is dumb, because he was goofing around too much, sitting there acting like Clark Kent as he does too much. And now here he is. She's figured it out.
I'm like, come on, man. You messed up. I mean, if he really wanted to, he could have turned back time.
He could have, yeah.
And then to the moment before he trips.
But just dumb.
But then the movie wouldn't happen, so never mind.
Yeah, so anyways, so Zod and his minions freaking end up at some town.
What they call the city.
Yeah, they call it the city for whatever reason, but and they destroy the town. I mean, they don't destroy, but they break shit.
It's like more funny scenes with Zod and his minions.
Yeah. But before this, some cops come to the town, or they're standing in the middle of the street where some cops are driving, and Zod is talking to them, and one cop pulls his gun out because, America. And
America.
yeah, and General Zod freaking, uses his heat vision and then makes the gun float to him.
I don't remember this, so when I saw it, I just burst out laughing.
And just like, that's a new power. When did you get that power? Does Superman have that power? He probably has that power. He's done what they made up powers for him in the last movie.
So basically, we're at the point where they both, since they all have the same powers, they all suffer from the same power of being able to do whatever they need to do.
That's exactly right.
They can do basically anything.
Pretty much. So whatever. They kick these cops' asses, and then they go to this town, and they just take out a town.
And Ursa takes his badge.
Yeah, and just starts wearing it.
Like, okay.
So anyways, Clark and Lois decide to go ahead and fly to the Fortress of Solitude.
And she's like, it's not even cold.
Yeah, it's not cold, but whatever. So during the time when Clark and Lois are out there,
he goes out picking flowers.
He goes out and he flies out and picks some flowers and gets some groceries.
They show this, and then all of a sudden they show Zod just destroying a
town.
Zod
is destroying a town while Superman's out getting groceries. And I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous.
I'm like, come on, Superman. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so whatever. Superman's out getting groceries, devastating an army. I'm sorry, Zod's out devastating an army, and then freaking
murdering people.
Yeah, murdering people, and Superman decides, at his fortress with Lois after they had lunch or whatever, I'm gonna freaking go and talk to my parents about me being with Lois. So he turns on this computer, and the computer says he has to give up his powers. Why?
I'm like, huh?
Can't you be with Lois and not fucking, stop being Superman?
But the plot.
Yeah, so he does it. He freaking goes into a thing and loses his powers, and then he goes and takes Lois to bed.
The scene is so dumb, too.
It's ridiculous.
He starts off in his Superman costume, then they change, and they show skeleton and stuff, and just flashing red all over the place. And then he, loses the Superman costume and changes into, normal clothes, and he walks out, but then Superman's, still standing in the chamber.
It's dumb.
I'm like, what is this? Oh, yeah, and for some reason, his computer just explodes.
Yeah, the computer just explodes after this. What?
I'm like, why? Are they saying because he doesn't have his powers, he can't use his computer anymore?
Yeah. And while this is going on, General Zod is overthrowing the government.
It's entering the White House.
He's in the White House making the president kneel, which, look, I like the scene. I understand that this is where kneel before Zod came from, but still.
Kneel before Zod. I'm like, it's funny is that I'm watching this movie and I'm like, Superman's a bad hero.
In this movie, yeah. So Clark and Lois drive from the fortress. I don't know where the car came from, but they're driving from the fortress. I don't even know how they came from the North Pole to wherever the fuck they went. And Lois is sitting there now. She's not even happy.
She's like, I liked you better when you were Superman.
I know. We could have been out of here, whatever, But at least well, I had to get rid of my powers just to be with you, Lois. You don't need to be upset and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's because you're not Superman. You got to be Superman for women to like you. And even then, that's sometimes not enough, But here, you can clearly see she's not happy that he's not Superman anymore.
She's like, you're not.
And she's even more upset with it when they stop at a bar to get a hot dog or a hamburger or whatever the fuck they said they were going to get, And Clark goes to the restroom, comes back out, and some asshole is sitting in his seat next to his girl.
Actually, he didn't even go into the restroom. He walked in 1 second and then walked out. I'm like, you still have super speed?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he didn't have to pee. Maybe he had to just wash his hands.
But he was in there 1 second.
Hey, 1 second too long because the guy tried to roll up on his girl.
Took his chair and he's like, "That's not your seat."
I think it is my seat. So what happens?
He's like, would you care to step outside? I don't know why that makes me laugh every time he says it. He's like, would you care to step outside, sir?
What are you going to do? This guy's an asshole. He's going to beat your ass right here, which is exactly what went down. This guy freaking hit Clark in the back of the head, and Clark's like, ow. I'm bleeding. This is my blood. I can't believe I'm bleeding my own blood. I've never bled my own blood because you're not Superman, idiot. He's like, I wish you were here. You had the power to change this.
And she's like, it's not your fault.
It is your fault. Okay? You didn't have to sit there and do what the damn computer told you to do. You could have still been Superman and been with Lois and all that other bullshit. What in the fuck?
He looks so dumb here.
I hated this whole entire moment. So Clark is like, I guess I got to go back to the fortress.
And so he walks there.
Yeah. After seeing on the news that General Zod has shown up.
He's like, where's Superman?
Yeah.
He's like, I heard about him. I don't see him
I
anywhere.
don't see him nowhere. I guess this is my planet now, right? It's not his planet anymore. It's mine.
He's like, I've been causing all this chaos and he just doesn't show up.
Hasn't done shit. And while Superman's getting his ass kicked in this bar, everybody's just sitting there watching him get his ass kicked. Nobody helps him at all. So Superman walks back to the fortress. Like, didn't you drive there? Why couldn't Lois drive there with you back to the fortress?
No.
You clearly have a magical car that can drive to the North Pole.
Well, she doesn't like him anymore. He just got beat up in a bar. She's embarrassed.
So how does she get back to Metropolis? She must have took the car back, right?
She's like, yeah, you can walk to that fortress. I'm driving back.
Yeah. So I guess she drove back, because he went to the fortress and, in the freezing cold, to the North Pole wearing just a jacket.
He made it.
Just a light jacket.
He's like, Lex Luthor needed a weather balloon.
Yeah.
He's like, you, me?
But he was also dressed for winter.
Yeah. But I guess he's like, nah. Clark Kent's like, nah, I'll just walk.
Yeah, I'll just walk back. I'm fine. So he gets to the fortress and he gets his powers back somehow with a green crystal.
Mm-hmm. Lost director's cut to know how he really did it.
I mean, I guess it's kryptonite. I don't fucking know. It's a green fucking crystal, but whatever. He gets his powers back, and at this point in time, Lex Luthor's meeting Zod to convince Zod to kill Superman. And while this is going on, Lois is at the Daily Planet because she left Clark at wherever the fuck they were at to go and get Superman. I'm sorry, she's waiting for Superman, who shows up just in time,
like Goku.
Yeah, like Goku, to fight General Zod and his minions.
Now, see, the thing about this is that I've seen Man of Steel, and then I haven't seen this movie in a long time. And the last time I saw this, I'm like, this was awesome. This is on Man of Steel level. And now I watch it, and
look, people. All right, in this movie, Superman fights General Zod and his minions in Metropolis, and they destroy buildings. Well, they don't destroy them completely, but they blow holes in the buildings,
blow up cars,
freaking drop helicopters, freaking throw all kinds of shit while people on Metropolis are fighting. So everyone who sat there and fucking whined and bitched and moaned and complained that Superman would never fucking do this is Christopher Reeves, your favorite one, right? All right, doing the exact same fucking thing that Henry Cavill did. Okay, he's doing the same thing. He didn't take the fight and move it anywhere else. They fought. They didn't. They flew in the air. They freaking destroyed things in all of its 80s glory because holy shit,
it was hilarious. This is the best scene in the movie.
It's fucking goofy as hell because it is, and he's fighting like they fight for like 10, 15 minutes. Now I will give you this. I think the last fight in Man of Steel lasted for like, I want to say at least 45 minutes or something like that. It was a long fucking scene.
It was good though.
It was. I liked it, but but
after watching that, then going back and watching this,
he did the same thing. Everything that you people were complaining about, he did it.
I mean, it's lower effects, but he still did it.
He still did it. So whatever. You're gonna sit there and watch this shit and tell people are not dying.
It's like, nah, they're fine.
Yeah. So after a while, Superman pulls a bitch moving the sides. I'm gonna fucking run away. So he flies to the fortress, letting everybody think he's a bitch because at this moment he really does look like a bitch.
I mean, he kind of is.
Yeah, he just left.
He got beat up by them, and he's like, "All right, guys, I'm done."
Well, I mean, it is 3 against 1. They do have powers, but still,
like you're Superman.
Yeah. Anyway, so Zod and company, they go back to the fortress and they bring Lois and Lex Luthor with them. Superman shows up and he's like, hey, you guys are in my house. You need to fucking respect my house. Like he's the president or some shit.
Like, you can even say the president.
Yeah. So Nan comes at him. and Superman throws a freaking S at him. And Non's just like, ah, what? So you're like, okay. I don't know what the fuck that was all about, but whatever. And then all of a sudden, all this DBZ shit starts happening. This
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z shit starts happening.
Where they all start doing after images and
Well,
stuff.
they start fucking throwing ki blasts at him. Right? I mean, that's what it looks like, right? They're throwing Kamehamehas at this dude, and he's stopping him with one hand. He couldn't take on 3 people in Metropolis, but somehow in his house, they're all shooting a ki blast at him, and he's just stopping it with one hand.
See, and he had to go to his home and get his plot armor.
Yeah. And then they all start doing after images on each other.
It's like
just instant transmissioning all across the fortress.
Like it's literally Dragon Ball.
And one of his after images turns into a freaking ice statue. Right? Did I see that right?
I don't remember seeing that, but maybe you did.
So I don't know. At the very end, Superman's like, well, I can't beat you guys, so I'm gonna freaking, have to stop.
So he talks to Lex like, don't tell him our plan. I'm gonna try
to get him into that freaking thing. It's gonna take their powers. And Lex is like, hey, you guys, Superman's gonna try to trick you guys, so hey,
And Superman's like, shh, shh.
He's like, hey, shut the fuck. He literally said it like that. Shut the fuck up, dude. Anyways, they convince Superman. Well, they don't convince him. They make Superman go into that freaking chamber, and then they turn it on.
But this time he puts his hands on the chamber.
Well, I mean, whatever, just to sell it. He's just selling it. It's a work, and hey, he comes back out. You're supposed to assume that he lost his powers, but he didn't.
Nope.
No, the other Kryptonians lost their powers.
Because the lights were on the outside.
Yeah. And so Superman has he still has his abilities, and he crushes Zod's hand.
And Zod's like,
okay. And then after that happens, what does Superman do? He throws Zod up against a wall, and then Zod dies.
I mean, he could have broken his neck.
He could have broken his neck. So all you assholes out there who kept saying that Superman would never kill anybody.
He just threw this guy into the water and he drowns to death.
He got buried under the fortress. I don't know where he ended up at, but he's immortal. So, falling from a great height wherever he was
into water.
I don't think it was water. It's just into nothing. I don't remember seeing them fall into water, but
he's dead.
As far as I know, he's dead.
Never seen him again.
Yeah, he threw Zod into nothing, and Zod died.
I mean, if you think that's worse, he even kills 2 other people in this movie.
Well, he didn't kill them. Non decided to freaking jump.
Oh yeah,
and he obviously couldn't fly. But Superman's actions caused Non to die. And then Lois decides, I want to kill somebody, so she punches Ursa, and Ursa falls into the freaking pit as well.
You're like, you're a pain in the neck,
and punches her. So I'm like, Lois, you killed somebody.
It's not her fault Feora couldn't grab the edge and pull herself back up.
I know, it's not her fault.
Not Superman's fault. Non can't fly.
Yeah.
Not Zod's fault. He couldn't climb back out.
Now, I don't recall seeing Superman take Lex Luthor to jail.
Did he just leave him in there?
I don't recall seeing him do that.
So he's like, all right, let's go, Lois. The house is all yours, Lex.
Yeah, well, the next day, I have to assume that's what happened. But the next day, Lois and Clark are back at the Daily Planet, and Lois is sitting there whining and bitching that she can't freaking, share Superman with the rest of the world. Which, look, I get it, but hey, he's still Superman. He's still got to be Superman. He's got to do his thing, and she has to understand that.
Like when he tried doing it the other way, he didn't like that either.
Yeah, so Superman shows off another power that I guess he either knew or he didn't know he had.
But I guess now he has it.
Yeah, he kissed her, and it erased her memory of, like, I guess the last couple of days.
It looked like it almost killed her.
Yeah. Now look, I'm going to sit here and say that since he has this mind erasing power and it worked on her, it must work on him too, on other guys, on guys too, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta work on everybody. Superman's got to get real close and look you deep in your eyes, and kiss you and make you forget all about your troubles.
Yeah.
Because it worked on her. Now, this is stupid because, I mean, look, um, she asked immediately, "Hey, what's going on in the news today?" I'm like, not that I fucking I don't I lost track of 2 fucking days. The 2 most important days of my life. I don't remember anything about it. When Zod showed up and Superman fought him in Metropolis and destroyed half the planet of which now I'm sitting in.
She's like, I don't know.
Like, hey, when you walk outside, did you not see that, that there's big holes in the window of Perry's office?
She's like, must have been an accident.
Yeah, that's probably a meteor. Whatever. So
Probably a new design.
yeah, he's probably putting in some lighting in there. So I don't know. Clark goes back to the bar where a guy kicked his ass when he was just Clark, and he's now there as Superman.
This scene's
And
so dumb.
he beats up that guy.
He's like, would you care to step outside?
Yeah, and I'm like, all you assholes sitting here thinking that Henry Cavill Superman, when the guy sat there and poured a beer on his head, that he wouldn't sit there and just throw logs in this guy's fucking, truck.
Look at this guy.
Here's Christopher Reeves Superman right here.
Just flexing his strength and just destroying this guy.
Being as petty as fuck, beating up a guy. You're supposed to be better than this, Clark.
Would you care to step outside?
Yeah. And everybody's going, oh yeah, he fucking showed this guy what for and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no. See, Superman's supposed to be better than this.
He wouldn't do this.
He shouldn't do this. He's better than this. But no. So
really, all your criticisms with Man of Steel are all valid here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why everyone's complaining.
No. None of them are valid here.
Oh, yeah.
None of them are valid. Okay? Your boy, Christopher Reeves is here doing it. Okay? Exactly what Henry Cavill was doing. So, shut your fucking face.
It's basically the same movie.
It's the same thing. Same movie. It's the same thing. He's doing the same thing. There's no reason to sit here and whine and bitch about that. Okay? So shut the fuck up. All right. And then Superman decides to go ahead and freaking fix the White House, and then
the president's like, "Where were you this whole time?"
Like, I was fighting Zod. You didn't see that, but I'm good now. Flies into the camera, smiles, leaves. Movie's over. Okay.
And then the credits. Superman 3 will come soon.
Yeah, and we'll review it when we get to it.
Good movie.
You think so?
Superman 3.
Yeah. Well, look, this movie had a lot going for it,
and a lot going against it.
Yeah. What are you giving this movie, boy?
See, my problem with this movie is that I thought it was better than the other one, but I also hate it more than the other one.
Okay.
So I'm in a tough spot. I guess I'll give it a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
I'm going with a 2 on this one. Just a lot of things just did not make sense in this movie as it was going on. Like, people's thought processes, all kinds of shit happened, and just no.
I'm just going with 3 because I it made me laugh more.
You had a good time with it.
I had a good time. It's not a good movie, but I had a good time.
Well, that's all I got to say about this. So, hey, check us out on YouTube, Gentleman Jug, Instagram, Gentleman Jug, and Twitter at Gentleman Jug. We'll keep it real original here, and hope to see you on all those other platforms as well, because we'll be doing this again next week, and it will be available
when it's ready.